What's up, everybody? Dan Tanner here for In the Paint Altitude Sports Radio 92.5, reacting to Nuggets and Pistons. We've got 4:29 to go. The Nuggets are actually mounting a comeback here. They were down 19 at the half. It's currently a 10-point game with Peyton Watson going to the free throw line with a chance to make it an 8-point game. And the Nuggets are still in this thing. They really struggled in the second quarter of this game, but had a much, much better second half. So we're going to watch along here and react to Nuggets and Pistons as this thing rolls along. So a little bit of a tough decision here for David Adelman. So Nikola Jokic is at 28 minutes already, and he's on a minutes restriction. The most we've seen him play is 28 minutes so far in his return from his knee injury. He's back out there. So Adelman deciding to go with Nikola Jokic, possibly to close this game out. We'll see. And Peyton Watson hits both free throws. It's an 8-point game with 4:10 to go. Robinson just hits a three. Golly, he has been killing the Nuggets tonight. Peyton Watson gets inside and gets the and one. All right. That's how you get back the 3 points. Peyton hasn't shot it great tonight. This is one of his poorer games over the last couple of months, really, but getting to the basket there, taking contact, gets the foul. Chance to make it an 8-point game again. Nuggets are still in this thing. Peyton to the line, misses, and he gets the rebound. Nice rebound. Peyton, don't throw it away. Oh, no, and they throw it away. Golly, that would have been big if they could have gotten that there. It could have been a 4 or 5 point possession. So down by 9. Here's Robinson again. Oh, he missed it. Oh, the offensive rebound by Duren puts it in. The Pistons have been destroying the Nuggets in the paint in this game. I mean, just obliterating them. And Peyton Watson gets fouled again. This has been a crazy game. Just so many different things happen. We've had the scuffle in the first half between Jonas Valanciunas, Isaiah Stewart, and Duren. We've had both teams use both of their challenges. Multiple technicals on both coaches and players. I mean, this has been a parade to the free throw line in this game. Nuggets have shot 34 free throws already. Peyton hits the first. So we're at, let me see here. 35 free throws now for the Nuggets, 22 for the Pistons. This has been a long game, really long game here. So Peyton to the line for a second, and he makes it. 112, 103, 3:27 to go. Really bad second quarter. The Nuggets are trying to dig out of that 19-point halftime deficit, and Watson gets called for the foul. He was going for the steal. Now, the Pistons aren't in the bonus, so they're not going to get free throws. Side out of bounds. I got to say, the officiating tonight has been very suspect at best. Trying to be nice about it. Both sides. Just a poorly officiated game. And the Pistons miss. Nuggets have it. Peyton Watson. Underneath to CB, and he's got it. Welcome back, Christian. Now it's a 7-point game, just under 3 minutes to go. Oh, they foul again. Well, I still believe they're not in the bonus. God, what a pass from Nikola Jokic right under the basket to Christian. That's what they've missed with Christian. He was right in the dunker spot, and Joker found him. Good to see Christian back. Hasn't had a great game tonight, but I really wasn't expecting a whole lot from Christian Brown tonight after missing so much time. Nuggets get the turnover. Julian Strawther's got it. He's been excellent here in the second half. Probably the most confident I've seen Julian Strawther this season. He has been fantastic. Joker's posting up Tobias Harris, and he gets fouled. This is one of the longer regular season Nuggets games I can remember, with the challenges, the reviews, the technicals, the free throws. Remember, the Nuggets play tomorrow night too. We've got the trade deadline coming up. Big trades in the NBA today. A lot of trades that we'll go over here on the postgame show. Joker hits the first free throw. 6-point game. That was for all the free throws the Nuggets have had. That was just the second free throw for Nikola Jokic. Crazy. And second free throw is up and good. 5-point game, 2:33 to go. And the Pistons have been I credit the Nuggets. They have really found a way to slow down Detroit here in the second half. Ooh, they almost got another turnover. Cunningham's got it. Nuggets playing some good defense here. Blocked by Watson. Strawther's got it, and they're on the run. To Murray in the corner for three. He's got it. 2-point game, 2:04 to go. 17-5 run over the last 3.5 minutes for the Nuggets. Unbelievable. They were down 19 points at halftime. Whew, that was big. Great defensive effort there from the Nuggets on the last possession for the Pistons. Peyton Watson ends up getting the block. Tobias Harris trying to drive to the basket. Strawther picked it up, finds Jamal in the corner, wide open. He drills it. Wow, what a game this has been. So let's take a look at the numbers here real quick. Joker had a really poor first half, but he's got 22 points on 8 of 18 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. Does have 5 turnovers. So nice second half for Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray, 6 of 15, but he's got 23 points, 3 of 7 shooting. 8 of 8 from the line for Jamal. He's got 8 assists, no turnovers. That's fantastic. Jalen Pickett is scoreless. He was 0 of 5 from the game. Jalen Pickett has played 10 minutes in this game. He started tonight. He started 0 of 4 in the first quarter, and he's taken 1 shot since. He's 0 of 5 for the game. 1 rebound, 1 assist for Jalen Pickett. CB, 6 points, 2 of 6 shooting, and Peyton Watson, 4 of 11 from the field, but 17 points because he's gotten to the line 11 times, and he's hit 9 of them. The Nuggets are 33 of 38 from the free throw line, 87%. That has kept him in this game. The Pistons have 19 made free throws. The Nuggets have 33 made free throws. But the Pistons are dominating in the paint. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. Wide open corner 3 for Detroit. Oh, it's short and it bounces twice off the rim and in. They had a free throw like that too where they missed it, bounced twice off the rim and dropped right in. Unbelievable. Minute and a half to go. Murray in the lane, puts it up and in. 3-point game. Should have been an and 1. 3-point lead here for Detroit. Cunningham's got it. On the run, and it's blocked again. Oh, and they call. Oh, they're going to call goaltending. Oh, I got to see this replay. The problem is the Nuggets don't have a challenge. Oh. Are they going to look at this? Let's see here. Oh, that was not goaltending. Oh, actually, a second. They showed the overhead. It was really close. Really close. I don't know if this is going to be enough evidence to overturn it. I don't even know if they're looking at. Yeah. Yeah, this is the second angle showed it was goaltending. They are looking at it. Yeah, replay center confirmed goaltending. So 5-point game, minute 16 to go. Plenty of time, 5-point game. Oh, that was such a close play. Man, Julian Strother has been kind of a lightning rod here in the second half. Good for Julian. Maybe he can, this is momentum he can carry for the rest of the regular season and possibly into the playoffs, because he's a guy that even when they get healthy, they need Julian Strother to be productive coming off the bench. He has the ability to do that. All right, here we go. Joker's blowing past his minutes restriction tonight. Oh, and Jamal gets fouled. That was a good possession there for Denver. It only took, 7 seconds to get all the way down the court and get the foul. Clock stops. Jenkins picked up his 5th foul there. Neither team has a challenge. Both teams obviously won their first and lost their second. So Jamal to the line. First one's up and good. 26 points for Jamal tonight. He's 9 for 9 from the line. So this can make it a 3-point game. And he got it. So 117, 114, minute 5 to go. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. Got to get a stop here. Detroit's going to run this all the way down. Oh, the Nuggets foul. Peyton Watson. He blocked the first shot, and they get a foul in the second. Oh, that's a killer. Absolute killer. He blocked Duran's shot from behind, and then Stewart comes in and gets the offensive rebound and puts up a shot and gets fouled. That is tough. So Jenkins is going to go to the line, and he hits the first. Here comes free throw number 2, and it's good. 119, 114 here. 45 seconds to go. I still can't believe that double bounce 3 that went in. Unbelievable. Absolutely crazy. Strother for 3 off the front of the rim. Detroit's got it. They're going to have to foul here. Got a foul. Still haven't fouled. Finally get the foul. Too much time off the clock. Well, that's a bummer. Five-point lead for the Pistons, and they're going to the line. This should just about do it. I'm chanting MVP for Cade Cunningham, who misses the free throw. I mean, Cade's having a good season, but come on. We're chanting MVP for Cade Cunningham. I love Cade Cunningham. He's developed into a tremendous basketball player, starter on the All-Star team this year, but that's ridiculous. And the second one's up and good. And the Nuggets will use their final timeout. 120 to 114. Gonna take a miracle, everybody. Oh, that's rough. So, pretty good production from the Nuggets bench tonight, honestly. Big Val, 22 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 4 shooting. Tim Hardaway, he struggled tonight. He was 1 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, just 6 points for THJ. Bruce Brown, 10 points, and Strother with 15. So overall, not bad production from your bench, minus Tim Hardaway, who's really struggled tonight. Cunningham's got 27. I believe he's the leading scorer in the game. He's tied with Jamal. Jamal and Cade are tied for lead scoring in this one with 27 points. Man, the Nuggets won the third quarter 30-24. They're outscoring the Pistons 34-27 here in the fourth. But the problem is that second quarter just, they got blitzed in the second quarter. They lost the second quarter 37-23. And they lost the first quarter 32-27. They can't dig themselves in these holes, especially on the road. All right, here we go. Game action. Joker's going to drive it in. They're just going to give him the layup. Yep, it's good. So 4-point game. 20 seconds to go. Went for the steal, didn't get it, and they'll get a quick foul, 17 seconds. Man, this is a bummer. It looked like the Nuggets had enough momentum to carry them to the finish line. They got it to within 2 with, 2 minutes left? And Green's going to go to the line. So Pistons will go to the line here. Green. And the first one's up and in. 79% free throw shooter on the season for Javonte Green. And here comes free throw number 2. It's up and good. Man, this is a tough loss for the Nuggets. Felt like they had it. No timeouts. They're going to have to take it all the way up the court. Give it to Jamal. They're just going to have to fire up threes here. Got to shoot it. Jamal will. He hit it. Still a chance. 10 seconds to go. 3-point game. They foul Cade Cunningham. 9.4 seconds to go. Oh, man. By the way, Spencer Jones did not play tonight. No injury. The Nuggets officially said they're just trying to conserve his game limit as a two-way player. So if anybody was wondering why Spencer Jones is not in tonight, that's why. So Cade hits the first. They're still chanting MVP for Cade Cunningham. And he hits the second. 5 seconds to go. Jamal will take a running three. Rims out. Oh, I think he got fouled. He did get fouled. Okay. Wow, that's a bad foul. Cade Cunningham just fouled Jamal Murray. Oh, man, he just hit the elbow. Jamal almost made that, too. Oh, my God. If he would have made that. So the first one is up and in. Jamal is perfect from the line tonight. 11 for 11. All right, second one is up and good. Now, do you miss this one on purpose? I would miss this on purpose. There's only 5 seconds left. So they're bringing Valen. I bet you he misses on purpose because they just brought Jonas Valanciunas in with Nikola Jokic on the floor. He's got to miss this on purpose. They have no timeouts. There's no reason for Jamal to try to make this free throw. And he does. And, they almost got it, but the Pistons come away with the rebound, and that's the game. Shoot. That's actually a good attempt there by Jamal Murray. And that's the ball game, folks. 124-121. The Pistons take down the Denver Nuggets. Adelman and JB Bickerstaff give each other a hug at center court. tough loss for Denver. Really resilient second half effort. I mean, you got to applaud the Nuggets for that second half effort. I mean, they had it right there. They outscored the Pistons by 16 points in the second half, but they lost the first half by 19 points. Just a really weird game, start to finish. The flow of this game was insane. This game started at 5:00. It's 7:47. I mean, typical NBA games that don't go to overtime take, I don't know, an average of like 2 hours and 10 minutes to 2 hours and 20 minutes. This was 2 hours and 47 minutes of game time tonight. It's just a really slow flow to this basketball game. So, all right, to start the game, Jalen Pickett really struggled. He started 0 of 4 from the field and 0 of 3 from 3 in the first 6 minutes of this game. But like I said, they just dug way too big of a hole for themselves at the beginning. The Nuggets have to find ways to get off to better starts. They have a propensity to start slow or just have a bad quarter, whether it's the first, second, third, or fourth. They just have this season. They've really had a bad habit of having that one quarter that kills them when they lose basketball games. It really comes down to one quarter. So this team just needs to find ways to not have that one bad quarter that dooms them, because that's what happened tonight. And tonight it was the second quarter. We've seen it happen in third quarters this year a lot, and we've seen it happen in fourth quarters this year a lot. And you know what sucks about this is, with that valiant effort that the Nuggets put in tonight, they've got to play tomorrow night in Cleveland, who, by the way, we'll get into this more later, just traded for James Harden, if you didn't catch that. So the Cavs have James Harden on their roster now. They traded Darius Garland and a second-round pick to the LA Clippers in exchange for James Harden. I have some thoughts on that, because I think the Clippers absolutely won that trade. But we'll get into that here in just a little bit. There were a lot of trades today in the NBA. Obviously, the NBA trade deadline is coming up on Thursday. I believe the deadline's at 2 Mountain. So I'd be shocked if the Nuggets made any moves. Excuse me. They play the Knicks tomorrow, not the Cavs. They play the Knicks tomorrow, and then Chicago, and then they play Cleveland at home, their first game back. So I got the games mixed up there. But they will see James Harden and the Cleveland Cavaliers on Monday, February 9th at Ball Arena. But they've got New York tomorrow. So one of the things that I thought the Nuggets really struggled with in the first half of this game, and this is something that's kind of been an issue all year for this team, the Pistons are an extremely physical basketball team. And we saw this last week when Detroit played here in Denver. They struggled with the physicality, and it bothered the Nuggets. It, quite honestly, it looked like it bothered Nikola Jokic in that first half. But I do like the adjustment that Adelman made. There were several times in the second half where Adelman had Nikola Jokic and Jonas Valanciunas on the court together to try to combat Detroit's physicality. And I would say for the most part, it worked. I mean, they outscored the Pistons by 16 points in the second half. So these next 3 or 4 games that the Nuggets have, New York, Chicago, and Cleveland, are also very physical teams. I would not be surprised whatsoever if Adelman employs the strategy of having Jonas Valanciunas and Nikola Jokic on the floor at the same time. But the conundrum really for David Adelman is both Jonas Valanciunas and Nikola Jokic are technically still on minutes restrictions. Now, look, to be fair to David Adelman, we don't know what that number is, okay? We don't know what the actual number for the minutes restriction is. I mean, Nikola Jokic played 33 minutes tonight. 33. So is that the number? I don't know. Jonas Valanciunas played 22. But it was very effective when David Adelman brought in the two big fellas to combat their physicality. And I think that's a strategy that we're going to see employed over these next couple of games, especially against these physical teams. As always, want to get your comments on the loss tonight. please feel free to join the comment section. Would love to go through some of those as we go through the post-game show here. But just kind of on the game itself as well. It was kind of an interesting moment there in the first quarter. Jonas Valanciunas, Isaiah Stewart's driving to the rim. Val wraps him up, kind of drags him a little bit. It was a little bit of it wasn't a cheap shot, but it was agitating enough at least to warrant a response from the Detroit Pistons. And Duren came over and him and Val started kind of pushing and shoving each other. I loved seeing that. That was a moment in the first quarter that I thought helped swing the momentum back towards the Nuggets side, because the Pistons came out to start this game on fire. And after that little tussle between Jonas Valanciunas, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duren, the Nuggets went on a 9-0 scoring run and got the Pistons lead down to 2. Now, the Pistons did lead 32-27 after the first quarter, and then the second quarter came. The Pistons started the second quarter on a 19-8 run. It wasn't even just the 19-8 run to start the second. The Nuggets were okay in the middle of that quarter, but then they fell apart at the end. They started turning the ball over, fouling way too much in the end of that second quarter. The Nuggets had problems in that closing out that quarter, knowing the shot clock. They didn't get the proper 2 for 1. Detroit did know the shot clock, and they made them pay. And the Pistons end up leading 69-50 at halftime. The Nuggets shot 32% in the first half. Detroit outscored the Nuggets in the paint 34-18 in the first half. The Pistons outscored the Nuggets 13-0 in fast break points. That's usually the Nuggets' bread and butter. The transition game. That's when this team is at their best. And boy, is it good to have Christian Braun back, because that is where Christian excels the most, is in that transition game. Now, look, am I expecting Christian Braun to get right back into the thick of it in the transition game as he's been out for the majority of the season? No, I'm not. It's going to take him some time to get going. And quite honestly, especially in the first half, it still looks like Nikola Jokic is knocking off some of the rust. The touch around the rim is kind of the biggest thing I've noticed from Nikola Jokic that's still not quite there, because when Joker's dialed in, he's nearly unstoppable 8 feet and in when it comes to those little touch shots, floaters, hook shots, sombor shuffles, all of that stuff. And he just seems a tick off in that area. But look, I'm not worried about that. Nikola Jokic is going to be just fine. So the third quarter, again, I thought the Nuggets did a much better job handling the Pistons' physicality, and not only handling their physicality, but what I liked the most is I thought the Nuggets kind of went on the offensive as far as the physicality goes in this game and started taking it to the Pistons, gave them a little bit of their own medicine, and it was effective. And again, Adelman, good decision, puts Jokic and Valanciunas out there together. About halfway through the third quarter was when he first trotted them out there, and I thought it was effective. Now, the Pistons did have a 93-80 lead after the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter starts with Jokic and Valanciunas on the floor together again. So here's the decision I didn't like from Adelman in the fourth quarter. So the Nuggets were down 10. They challenge an out-of-bounds call. Now, what was so interesting about this particular play is ball goes out of bounds, and literally all 5 starters for the Nuggets, the refs called it out on Denver. All 5 starters on the floor were jumping up and down in the air, pointing it's our ball and to challenge. All 5. So if you're David Adelman, you're seeing every single one of your guys who was right there say it's our ball. You're probably going to be pretty inclined to challenge that. But 2 looks at the replay, it was clearly out. I believe it was Tim Hardaway who it was out on. Clearly out on Tim Hardaway. So I would just like to see a hair more patience there from Adelman and his staff. Let them get the replay in. I know they don't have a lot of time to make these decisions, okay? I get it. They've got to do that quick. I do think that is sometimes what us in the media and fans will do unfairly when criticizing these coaches' challenges is get on these guys for making a bad challenge, but we do have to keep in mind that they don't have a lot of time to do that. It's the same in the NFL. I mean, they have, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds to get this in, to see those replays. So they got to do it quick. But if he could have just given his video guys a hair more of a second, they would have seen it was clearly out on the Nuggets, and they could have saved that challenge. Now, look, did that challenge end up costing them the game? No, it didn't. But it could have. And that's been kind of my whole thing all year of like, I want these coaches to be ultra cautious with their coaches' challenges, because you never know in an into the game scenario, the last 2 minutes of a game, when that challenge is going to be very, very important. In fact, there was a foul call late in the game that was, I believe it was called on Peyton Watson. It was probably a 50-50 call, but it's nice to have that extra challenge in your back pocket. So that was a little frustrating to see from Adelman and the coaching staff. But look, positive from tonight, at least my biggest positive from this game, I thought Julian Strawther was fantastic. And not only was he producing, he had an air of confidence about him that I haven't seen all season long. I mean, not once. But tonight I did see it. And it wasn't just him jacking up a bunch of threes. He was driving to the lane. Almost every time he had the ball, he was driving to the rim. So that was a positive. Obviously, I'm going to need to see this over a long stretch in order for my confidence level in Julian Strawther to go up. But as I've said all along, in regards to Julian Strawther, he is a guy that I think is critical for the Denver Nuggets coming off the bench. He's a guy that him and Tim Hardaway are two guys that have the ability to come in off the bench and flip a game on its head with their shooting ability. And I thought Julian did that tonight for the Nuggets in the second half. I really did. He was great. He did take a couple of threes, but no hesitation, pulled right up and drained them. That was awesome to see. So again, hopefully this is a step in the right direction for Julian Strawther's confidence moving forward, that he's able to carry throughout the rest of the regular season and possibly into the playoffs. Now, look, when this team, if this team is fully healthy, we'll see how much he plays. But I'll tell you this, what would help him get playing time later on in the season when this team gets healthy is to continue having games like he did tonight. All right, we'll get to your comments here in just a little bit, but Adelman is speaking. So let's go ahead and hear from the head coach of your Denver Nuggets.
How would you describe their defense in this game and how it made it tough for you guys to make shots?
Yeah, they're extremely physical. Obviously, we shot 43 free throws. They do foul a lot. But yeah, they got into us. I didn't think I just thought we had a weird energy about us the second half, and then we kind of got ourselves going. We ended up scoring 121 points, so on 41 in the fourth. But it's just the challenge for us right now is with all the things that are happening, people coming back, the minute restrictions, we have to avoid paying attention to that. We just have to play and just deal with it as we go. And we're going to have some clunky moments. It's the rotation's different. We tried different things tonight. I'm just trying to fit people into the minutes they can play. And that's how it's going to be. I was really proud of the comeback, but I was not pleased with the early energy in this game.
Is it hard to be in rhythm when you're shooting that many free throws offensively?
Yeah, that's a good point. I also thought just the looks we got from three were great. Just one of those nights where it didn't fall for our team that's shot the ball so well throughout the season. I think the frustrating thing about these games is Cunningham shoots 11 free throws, Jamal shoots 13, Jokic shoots 3, and it's like a totally different game being played around the rim near the basket, and I'm trying to figure it out. It's just like two different basketball games going on with the bigs and the
That's
smalls.
some frustration there coming out from Adelman.
We just have to find a way to play through that. He does as well. but it was good to see him find a little rhythm there in the second half. I thought he was really impactful. So yeah, it just, I don't know, no excuses. Just got to find a way to get things done these last 4 games.
Can it be an especially good test almost to try and play through that frustration in consecutive games against 2 really good, really physical defenses that are fouling a decent amount?
I guess, yeah. I have no idea. I think he's trying to play through it. I don't think his frustration is without merit. So that's all I'll say about that.
How did you feel it worked when you had Jonas and Nikola in there together?
It was really good defensively. Offensively, we don't practice a lot. So there's a little bit of a feeling out process like there was early in the season. And we haven't had a chance to do that a lot because both guys were hurt. But I thought it was impactful. We packed the paint with those 2 guys. Jonas had a really good game tonight. 11 points, 11 rebounds, is a plus 16. So I was trying to get him back out there any way I could with respect to the minute restriction of Nikola. Trying to do both things is very challenging. But we'll look at everything. These last 4 games, if that's where we have to go earlier in the game, possibly start those guys together. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll find a way to get it done if it's going to be impactful like it was tonight.
With Spencer sitting, how much did you feel like you were just sort of feeling out some of those lineups as far as whether it was 2 bigs or 4 guard lineups and just sort of trying to sort out the 4 for 48
Yeah, I am feeling it out, man. Like I'm feeling it out every game. We walk through stuff in a hotel room and I presuppose lineups and put them out there in their sandals and then we go play. Then you have to react during the game. And, that's part of the NBA. So there's no excuses there either. It's just I was trying to find a group that had some rhythm. We found a couple, but the end of the first half just killed us. We didn't take care of the ball. We missed some really good looks. And to their credit, they got out and ran. I mean, 26 fast break points is ridiculous to give up. That if you're going to do that on another team's home court, it's going to be really hard to win the game.
How about Nikola's minutes?
Okay, there is Nuggets head coach David Adelman. Interesting there. Talking about the Jokic, Valanciunas pairing on the court together at the same time. Like I said before, I thought it was very effective. That's what helped spark the Nuggets run in the second half. Now, what was interesting is, they just don't get a lot of practice during the season. And it was interesting to hear Adelman say they haven't really practiced offense a lot with Val and Nikola Jokic. Now, he did mention it helped them fit on the defensive end tonight, which obviously I thought it did because you don't go on a second half run like that without playing some pretty good defense. They were porous on defense in the first half, and I think that's why Adelman ultimately made that decision. But it does look clunky on the offensive end. I'll just say that. I don't know what would be the best way to go about running their offense with the 2 big guys out there at the same time. And quite honestly, listening to David Adelman right there, it doesn't really sound like he's quite sure what to do yet. I mean, he said they're running through plays in their flip-flops at in the hotel lobby before the game, and then they've got to go play. So that is something that, and I believe he mentioned that earlier on this, like really early on in the season, because obviously Joker's been out for, a month before the last couple of games. So it is interesting to hear him say, we just haven't had a chance to really practice too much offensively with the 2 big guys out there. And that's quite honestly kind of what it looks like. It just looks clunky and there's not a lot of flow there with that offense. But I mean, honestly, overall, like I thought they made it work. They were still scoring when the 2 guys were in there. It just doesn't look as smooth as we're accustomed to seeing this Nuggets offense. So we'll see if he employs that strategy again tomorrow night. Maybe maybe this is just a thing they're going to have to work on in games with the way the NBA schedule is laid out. It's 82 games is so compressed into this 5.5, 6 month NBA regular season that it's just so tough to get practice time that they're just going to have to work on this in game, and we'll see. And I mentioned early on this season as well, I liked that Adelman was trying that lineup, throwing it out there, because there are going to be times, especially in the playoffs, especially against a team like Oklahoma City, where they're going to have Jokic and Val on the court at the same time. They just are. I mean, look at what Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren did to the Nuggets the other night. So they're going to have the ability to have both of the big men in there and not be a liability on the offensive end of the floor. Now, defensively, it helps them quite a bit. They did much better defensively on Detroit in that second half, obviously. But it'll just be, it's so tough to work on this kind of stuff in the regular season. Okay. Some of the trades that went down today were pretty interesting. In fact, let me pull some of these up here. The most recent trade that just went down is the LA Clippers have traded James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland and a second-round pick. I don't get this trade from the Cavaliers' perspective. This makes no sense to me. I wouldn't trade Darius Garland for James Harden 1-for-1, let alone throwing in a second-round pick. Now, look, James Harden is still a prolific scorer in the league. Whether you like how he gets those points or not, a lot of people don't, myself included. It's ugly basketball. Same with SGA. But first of all, Darius Garland is a much younger player, and I know Cleveland's in a window where they feel like they can win a championship right now. Donovan Mitchell's not getting any younger. I mean, okay, from that point of view, I understand it. But I wouldn't trade for James Harden for anything. This is a guy who has quit on every single team he's been on his entire career. Oh, they're having struggles in LA. Get him out of there. I mean, he wanted a 2-year, $80 million contract extension. Why in the hell would Steve Ballmer, the owner of the LA Clippers, give James Harden a 2-year, $80 million contract extension? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is a team that might be staring down the barrel of a rebuild. And for Cleveland, I really like Darius Garland as a basketball player. Is he as prolific of a scorer as James Harden today? Probably not. But it's a guy they drafted. He's been there his whole career. He's got chemistry with that team. This makes no sense to me. Does anybody else feel like the Cavs have a better shot at a championship now with James Harden instead of Darius Garland? Anybody? Because I sure do not. This is a trade that I think this is a massive win for the Clippers. Now, look, we'll see how it plays out. The Clippers got hosed in a trade back in the day where they traded Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to the Oklahoma City Thunder for a washed-up Paul George. That was one of the worst trades in NBA history now, looking back on it. Paul George has been a shell of himself since that trade, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has turned into one of the best players in the league and the reigning MVP and a title. So this trade right here is the one that was just very, very confusing. Another trade made today involved the Detroit Pistons, who we just obviously saw here tonight playing against the Denver Nuggets. So Detroit receives Kevin Huerter, Dario Saric, remember him, Nuggets fans? Barely, I'm sure, and a 2026 first-round protected swap via the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Chicago Bulls received Mike Conley Jr. and Jaden Ivey. That's why we didn't see a Jaden Ivey with the Pistons tonight. He was traded to Chicago. We might see him on this road trip. In fact, we probably will see Jaden Ivey with the Chicago Bulls on this road trip. Boy, that's a good backcourt for Chicago. Kobe White and Jaden Ivey. I like that. Jaden Ivey's a good player. He's a very high draft pick. That was a kind of a surprising move that the Pistons traded him. Now, I know why the Pistons made this move. They're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA, and they get a really good three-point shooter in Kevin Huerter. That's why they made this trade. So, okay, makes sense. And Mike Conley's 1,000. That's just more of a salary dump, probably. They're probably going to waive him. You know, that's a conversation DMAC and I had a little bit today was if Chicago does end up waiving Mike Conley. I know he's old, but could the Nuggets use a backup point guard? Is Mike Conley better than Jalen Pickett right now? He certainly got more experience, that's for sure. But is Mike Conley a better option than Jalen Pickett? I really don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I know he's got more experience, much more experience. And look, I know Jalen Pickett's had a rough stretch over the last week or so, but he's showed some real promise this year. So look, I'm not saying Jalen Pickett is not a guy that I just am like throwing away or wanting the Nuggets to give up on. But just for this season, and not even this season, the last 30 games of the year and into the playoffs, could that be an option for the Denver Nuggets? We'll see. And Minnesota was just obviously dumping salary because they received no players or draft picks. That was a salary dump for the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, last trade, at least big trade, and this was a monster trade that really kind of kicked off the domino effect today between the Utah Jazz and the Memphis Grizzlies. So Memphis trades Jaren Jackson, Jock Landau, John Conchar, and Vince Williams Jr. to the Utah Jazz for Walton Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and 3 future first-round picks. 3. I mean, they got 3 first-round picks. Good for Memphis. I think Jaren Jackson's a really good NBA player, really good defensive player. I believe he's a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year winner. It's always weird to me when 2 non-competitive teams make a trade like this. Now, Utah, I guess from their perspective, they're trying to pair Jaren Jackson with some of their young talent and Lauri Markkanen. Not for this year, but for the future. Okay. But for Memphis's perspective, you get a bunch of players. Okay, big deal. The 3 future first-round picks is really what they're going to use to rebuild moving forward. So I think that's a good move for the Memphis Grizzlies. Absolutely. So there you go. And we still don't know if Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to get traded. That's going to be obviously the biggest domino to potentially fall. It's not a guarantee that Giannis gets traded, by the way. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say he will, but there's plenty of time. I mean, trade deadline's not till 2 p.m. Mountain on Thursday, so they've got plenty of time to get that done. I would not expect the Nuggets to be in the trade market much at all, unless it's to have some salary cap flexibility or something like that, or maybe to get a veteran player a la a Mike Conley. That's the only thing I can see that the Nuggets do at the deadline. But we'll see. Who knows? It's the NBA. You know, that's why trade deadlines are so fun. You just never quite know. And look, this is a brand new front office for the Denver Nuggets. We've seen what they've done in the draft and free agency, but we haven't seen what they've done at the trade deadline yet. That was one of my criticisms of Calvin Booth. I thought he was far too conservative at trade deadlines, and we'll see if the Tenzer Wallace duo is a little bit more aggressive coming up here just over the next 36 hours as the NBA trade deadline approaches. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for the post-game show tonight. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow night. Got another one. It's the Nuggets and the New York Knicks. 5 p.m. start. Again, boy, aren't these 5 p.m. start times awesome? You're done with the game by typically before 7:30, unlike tonight. But that's going to be a good one. It's on ESPN, national TV game in Madison Square Garden, and we'll see what if the Nuggets can get off the schneid here, losers of 2 straight. The Knicks are, they kind of went through a lull in the middle of the season where they really struggled. Started off the season great, struggled in the middle, but they have bounced back with a ferocity because they've won 7 games in a row. The Knicks have won 7 games in a row going into tomorrow night's matchup against the Denver Nuggets. They're the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. This is not an easy road trip. The schedule gets very, very tough for the Nuggets here moving forward, but we'll see how it all plays out coming up tomorrow night. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to In the Paint. We'll talk to you tomorrow to react to Nuggets and Knicks. We'll see you then.